Hi everyone, it's Adrienne Leah. This video is mainly going to be me talking about my current works in progress. I have shown two of them in other videos. I do have a new cast on that is a test knit that I recently applied for, so I'm mega excited to be knitting it. And then there is going to be a fourth cast on. It's a small project. It'll take less than a week to do, but I wanted to cast on maybe mid-month because it is a gift knit for a friend that is having a baby soon. I met her when I was working in pharmacy, or I'm still there at the pharmacy, but she moved back to her hometown. And for a while, I was thinking about the things that I could knit for her baby, but I decided on a hat. So I'm going to talk about that first because I'm bringing it up. So I've knit this hat before. I've knit the adult version of it, so I'm so sorry for the pronunciation. But it's a Tin Can Knits pattern. It's the Cleoco hat, and it comes with a lot of sizes in the pattern. So I was thinking about the color scheme. That was another factor. And I decided that I wanted to do like a pumpkin theme because you see these baby knits and a lot of them they have like food themed or they have um, either that or I also really love it looks like an elf hat or a specific type of elf hat or woodland hat that I really love. That would be more of what I would be into, but I figured that I would go for like a pumpkin theme and it should only take the weekend, and that's with me running errands and doing this on my downtime. So I have this Baraco. It's 100% superwash wool, and I tried to go for the soft yarns, especially when it's not for me. So I've haven't done many gift knits, but just in general, I would want to knit something soft. So in hopes that they will enjoy my gift and that they'd want to wear it. So this is the color is says 3344. Then I have two other colors that are scrap yarn from other projects. And this is a Malabrigo Rios in ivory. Okay, just and the number is 704. And then this one is another Malabriga Rios in Yerba number 688. I'm happy I decided on a project. It's a color work project, and I thought it was fun the last time I was knitting it, so I'm happy to knit it again. And then the other gift knit that I have is the OK sweater. It might be pronounced differently. It's in the Lopi book, the 42nd edition, and there's so much that I want to knit out of that Lopi book, and I did get another one too, but it's also nice that you could get the patterns on their own on their website. So I have the sleeves on scrap yarn, and I'm on the body now. This one I'm focusing on finishing, as well as the test knit that I'll show, because I sorry, my computer just updated, so it it wants me to sign on to iCloud, and I keep exiting out of it. But I wanted to focus on finishing this one because I want to make sure that it's all set for when I see the person. And I also love this knit so much. It's such a fun, satisfying pattern because it's on the US 15, and I'll just show the needles here. So this is the 15s, and for the other project that I have showed this one too, but I also put the sleeves on scrap yarn, and it's the Sleipnir cardigan. It is a jumper or sweater pattern that I'm making into a cardigan. So this is the needle that I would knit on for a lot of my garments, and then this one is what I'm knitting for the OK sweater. So it's coming along. I'm gradually getting yarn for this because I want to see how much yarn I would use for this project. But it's super soft, and as I said in another video, it is a flattering neckline, which I wasn't sure about. I mean, I didn't think too much of it, but this is when it looks like a shell here. and it's not like a turtleneck. It fans out here, which is such a beautiful accent for this sweater because there isn't other design elements. But I do love the construction of this one because it is the construction for a lot of the colorwork sweaters or cardigans that I do, and it is familiar, and it's nice to have like the I guess the only word that's coming to me is like a blueprint for that sweater, so you can see it without the color work if you wanted to just just to know it might be helpful in the future. And as I said in the Lobi book, I would of course would want to knit the color work patterns too, but there are a couple like staple pieces that you could definitely just quickly knit up because it's on a larger needle, and also um again a blueprint for a sock pattern that I wanted to knit in there too, and it's for using bigger needles too. So and then a hat that I was going to include with this sweater too. So I might knit on this a little bit in the video because I'm just trying to get all the knits in. And then I also think about the future knits that I will do for this season and then for the winter. And so I I also think like because of where I live and how long it will be for this type of weather and when I can get finished. So that I wanted to knit a Christmas sweater or a cardigan, but it wouldn't be finished in time, so maybe another year for that one. But I am going to use the alpaca. I would like to knit the full Ocha worsted cardigan. I say full, like full colorwork garment again for the next one because or the after I'm finished these, because I love that sweater. Um, I would like to do a couple of things to the next one, but I do have the colors for it and I have the yarn for it because, as I said, um, sorry, I keep bringing up the stuff from other videos. It takes up a lot of yardage to make these full colorwork sweaters. Or I make a lot of cardigans. So that's what I'm thinking about. And then in November, December, I'm going to weave some scarves. That's the general plan of it. And then for the test knit, I have a pattern by Melody Hoffman of Mandarins or Bee Mandarins. She's a French knitwear designer, and I love her patterns, and I watch her videos on YouTube, and I also have her on Patreon too. And I really love being on Patreon to watch the videos on there, and then it's nice that you get early access to some patterns, but you also get patterns that aren't released to her, to the pages that she sells her patterns on. And it's just so nice to be on her Patreon. Her patterns are nature inspired, and from the videos that I've watched and I've listened to, I would say that her patterns are have like simple, mm, like I would say that it is more of knitting, and then there is a design element to that garment. Not simple in a bad way, of course. It's simple in it. I feel like it has like a French element to it, if I'm correct, because it just has like the classic but rustic and again nature inspired type of plain knit that it becomes like a staple piece in your wardrobe. And then she adds the a certain design element. Sorry if I explained it okay. Um, but this one is Through Shadows sweater. It's a crop sweater, and I'm excited about that because I love wearing my crop sweaters with my skirts, and I do want to sew a black skirt. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I have skirts in other colors, and I feel like black is one that I'll use a lot. And so I just started the test knitting, began maybe 3 days ago. I just started it yesterday. And I love the neck line, how it is one that doesn't have the ribbing. And again, with the designs, this is one of her color work patterns. So it is definitely one that I really wanted to do. I'm using the I'm using a Peruvian wool and alpaca blend, and this is 200 grams of it. I actually have another one of these, which um, I was thinking about holding on to these for another project, but I would need more yarn anyway for it because the project that I have in mind is for a bulky weight, and this is like a heavy worsted weight. But it is definitely on the more affordable side, and it was great that it came with 200 grams. It is great that it comes with 200 grams. And I am using the Mangs wool as the contrast color, and I think that it's one that suits this pattern or well with the other yarn because it looks like there's gray undertones to this one too. So this one I've had in my stash for a while, but I'm happy that I'm finally knitting with it. It's such a unique yarn to feel because me being the person, I just keep wanting to squeeze it because it's so um it feels so bouncy, but it is one that feels durable too. And it's a specific type of softness that I haven't felt in my other yarns. It feels sturdy, so it will definitely be a knit that will be in my wardrobe for a long time or forever. And the garment is inspired by The Lord of the Rings. And I have never watched the movies completely. So one day I was thinking that I would, and then I because I saw that it was on TV, and I was watching it for like 5 minutes, and I didn't think anything of it because there were subtitles at the bottom of the screen, and a lot of times I put the subtitles at the bottom because I either have my volume on low or I don't have the volume on at all. It's just something in the background. And so it had the volume on, and I thought that it was just a part of the movie where they were talking in a language that is a part of the movie. And so I I didn't know why I didn't catch on, but I was thinking, man, they're like really committing. They're really committing to talking in this language, and just for me to find out that like I'm on the Spanish channel. But anyway, I'm just loving the design of this sweater and the construction. It will go well with my skirts, and it's whimsical, and it has a rustic, natural type of look with the colors and the design of the sweater. It feels like it's flowing. So, and it looks like like wheat or like plants, like natural. Sorry. And it's nice knowing that I'll have a garment finished by around mid-November. I didn't say that the yarn that I'm using for the okay sweater is the Berco Vintage in Dungaree. I really love this blue shade or colorway. Then this other one I have shown, and I just started using the second ball of the main color, which is the Universal yarn in navy, and it's the tweed yarn that they have. So I also separated for the sleeves, and it's nice that there's color work in the pattern that the Through Shadows sweater, because I'm knitting plain and plain knitting, which is okay. And then I'll be really excited to start the ultra worsted. So I finished the color work on this sweater or cardigan for the yoke. I won't add it to the bottom of the body. I'm just doing it at the top. And I love the way that it's turning out. So I'm hoping to get this finished by the end of the year, just because I am knitting a lot of the gift knits, or there's two gift knits, but I wanted to also knit him a hat, and I was going to weave scarves, and this is where my steek is. So I just love the colors of this. And the contrast color is the Patagonia one. I'll knit a little. And I am wearing my cardigan, or is it a jacket that I purchased, and I thought it would be nice. It's going to be Indigenous Day, the day after my birthday in the US. And I have this hat because it's one of the only hats that I really wear, since it's comfy, because I can put my hair through. And mm, and then for this month, by the end of the month, I'll be finished with applying for a passport. because it was, it was really interesting because it was in August where I was at the very top floor where it's called a little library in the apartment building. It's not necessarily a full room of books, but it's a section where you take books and you leave books. So I remember that day in August because I was thinking I would knit there. Just so I would change it up a little bit and not be in my apartment. And I took the book, it was the Eyewitness book, and it was the Eyewitness book for Dublin. And it's been what, 7 years and more. I say 7 years because my best friend is in New England, and multiple times a year it would always get brought up like, I'm gonna go to Ireland. And then I have a lot of Irish friends. I have a little Irish in me, but I just told her that I'm gonna go, and I don't know if I mentioned this in another video, just to backtrack a little bit because I'm always backtracking. The O'Connors, my best friend, they would take care of me during my poor college years, when they would help me out with like food. And of course, it was always nice to hang out with them and talk with them because at the time I lived in like uh I was living in New England, and New England is an older part of the US, but the US is not that old. So it does have that um element to it, which I do love. And I was neighbors with her because I was on the first floor right side, and um, she's on the second floor left side. It's like it's split because there's stairs in between, and then each side has like apartments. And um, that's where we met, and then we just have been friends ever since. And I talk to her every week, and it's us talking for like hours about like the same things. But I love it because she's a Gemini and I'm a Libra, and we have a tendency of bringing up the same things. And then she was saying that like we bring it up because it's on our mind and we need to like talk about it and maybe try to work through it, or it must be on our mind for some reason. So we're both like air signs. And um so I would always tell her that I was gonna go to Ireland. And then in the beginning of this year, it was just so, I would say that it was like super drastic with everything that changed in the beginning of the year. And I was just trying to go with all the changes. And so it was a big adjustment. And I guess when I saw that book, I was just like, maybe it's a sign that this will be um the year that or like towards the end of the year next year, where I was just like, I'll just like travel and do my own thing, because are places in Europe too that I am really wanting to go to, and I'm just kidding. And then, like, aside from Ireland's Riga, further, further wool, and there are the other tarot readers that I have been friends with over the years, and I've never met them. So I thought that it would be that golden opportunity too. And so I remember around that time, and I did bring it up that around when I got that book in it around that time, sorry, I was just sensing the ocean, and it was like salt water, and it was unusual in lighthouses. And then I thought it was not like me because I'm not like an ocean person or like a water person. And um I think it's just, trusting the process. And one of the things like that kind of sticks with me that like you would hear is that if you have like a pure heart and pure intentions, that you're you'll end up just winning in the end. And it's not really about like winning, but it's about, I feel like it's more of maybe validation or more of like knowing that it's going to be fine and I don't want to sound like corny, but I feel like the universe just like favors those who are, that see the good in good. Because I think like after all the things that have happened over the years, not just like this year, it's like, well, what I want to, something that I realized like with myself, it's like I I don't have it in me to like shatter somebody's heart, which is definitely a good thing. So, like, if again, if you have pure intentions and like you don't give me any reason to think otherwise, then it's it's going to be good. So, knitting this double, I'm thinking I just need two more hanks of this because I will probably end up knitting the body and then end up using the other ones for the sleeves. And like for the Sepnier, because I usually have around like, I guess for a medium weight yarn, it would be around 320 stitches. And I'll show it again because with this colorwork pattern, you'll see that it's a repeat, and that's a lot. It is a lot of stitches for this part that you will repeat throughout the yoke. So if you're trying to go up a size or down a size, you'll have to take out all the stitches for here because you can't just split it any which way. So the sizing for this cardigan is one that you definitely notice the size differences. And so for this one, even knitting a size smaller than what I would normally knit for myself, I'm still around 380 stitches. So I was pushing through to get this finished because, or I love the yoke, I love color work. It was just me trying to get through this part so that I could put the sleeves on scrap yarn and it would cut down my stitches for now so I can knit the body and it'll be more of a, I guess, a breather for this. But it's definitely one that I've been wanting to knit for about a year. And um, don't think I have other things that I am going to talk about. Or I did get some scrubs for work. And it was so nice because the owner of the pharmacy didn't think that she would be there tomorrow because I'm filming on Thursday and then I don't work on the weekends. And so she, well, she gets us food sometimes, but she wanted to make sure that she got us like something that, um, because it's gonna be my birthday. And then she was thinking to get like scrubs for the staff because I do have two lab coats. Oh my god, it's 43 minutes. Sorry. Um, because I I have two lab coats. I have a lab coat that's the disposable one for when I'm compounding, and that's the white one. And then I have the black one that is like when I'm outside of the compounding room. But it's just so warm with it on, the one outside of the compounding room. So I don't really wear it. And I got a, the Adair Pro, which is really nice. I did wear one the other, or I have been wearing the one they had already that I was trying out. And it is a fitted scrub, and then it has more of like a legging type of style, but it's a different material. And so I'm really enjoying that. But then I was saying that, well, since our logo has green in it, would we be able to wear green scrubs too? And she's like, well, as long as they're scrubs, just you could wear whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I also got, well, she got me green too because I just picked it out and I ordered it. So it's an olive green and it should be arriving tomorrow. I wasn't sure if I was going to make any type of video about it because it doesn't really have anything to do with what I talk about usually, but I tend to switch it up. But I'm kind of excited for that too. Um, I did go to private school in for elementary and in high school, so I'm used to uniforms. I've never really had a lot of clothes in general, so it's not like that much of a difference for me, other than I think I will wash my clothes more frequently. I do like smaller batches for the uniform and maybe get more scrubs in the future. So it would be it they're good colors to start off with because they're colors that I normally wear anyway outside of work too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was somewhat interesting, as I say, and I put works in progress. Like I spell it or I write it out on the title because I did start off as like a tarot reading enthusiast channel, and so it is a little bit of a transition with the new stuff that I talk about. So in case somebody doesn't know what whip is, I just write it in the title in hopes that it might be interesting to some people. But it's okay. I mean, I do this to mm, because I like doing it, because it's just something fun to do when I'm I have some downtime, or I like to keep myself busy with doing different things anyway. So this is kind of one of those things. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.